What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. And so for today we have a special video, and today's video or today's topic is that we're redoing the entire video of the history of animation, and we're doing it better. So you may remember on December 6th of last year I uploaded my very first YouTube video, and if I'm being honest, that video sucks. It just sucks. I mean, personally, you might like it. It is my most popular video, 65 views. And so, I mean, it's alright, I guess, for a first video, but I would like to improve on it. So, let me give you a small montage of what I've accomplished basically since then.
We interrupt this commercial broadcast to bring you CRDP News.
Thank you guys for introducing me.
Back with CRDP News, and today we're going back to a little crime that we reported ourselves about a week ago.
Great start. Hey guys.
Hi, my name is Toby McDaniel.
My name is Andrew Garcia, and
Wait, what?
Oh, 30 minutes? Are you kidding me?
Have fun.
30, finale special.
Yeah,
finale
it's the last
special.
episode.
Let's go.
Nothing is cut, nothing is bleeped.
Oh god, okay.
Uncensored. So, part 1. These are going to be split into 4 parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3, and then ending. So, let's get into part 1 first. Part 1. What is animation? So, you may be wondering, what is animation? Well, animation is basically a way of taking pictures or a small posable figures, etc., stuff like that, and then making a film of some kind, basically. So, according to this article, which is the same one I used last year, the first ever animated sequence, basically, was in a movie called The Enchanted Drawing from 1900s. Now, I think I forgot to put what day it is, but it's like somewhere in the 1900s. So it was by J. Stuart Blackton's, which was captured on a standard picture film, which is like the first introduction of animation, basically. And so, as animation continued to evolve, a French cartoonist called Émile Coff created the first 2-minute cartoon in 1908 called Phantasmagorie, which basically used stick figure animation. And so, yeah. Also, fair warning, I will be pronouncing names wrong, so my bad for that. So, in the early stages of animation, keyframing was some of the very early techniques that were developed along with the in-betweeners and animation loops. That sounds kind of funny, but so when Winsor McCay's Gertie the Dinosaur came out, film came out, they basically used keying, in-betweeners, and animation loops to create the whole movie, basically. And so now we're getting into part 2. Part 2. Examples of early animation devices. So this is a fun topic. It was pretty interesting researching all of these. So now we know about the beginnings of animation. Now let's talk about the devices that were used to make these animations. So first up we have the magic lantern. So what the magic lantern is, basically a device that was made in 1601. 1601. And so how this thing works is that there's a big box, right? And then there's a light source, like a candle in there. And so the candle projects light into it. And so the candle, which is the light source, basically projects the light into a very long tube. And then in that tube, there are 2 mirror glasses. No, there's 2 pieces of glasses on there with like... and so that's basically how it started like that. That is very wrong grammar. My bad. Okay, and now for the second device, we have the thaumatrope. So this device was made somewhere around the 19th century. I don't really know. I got lazy at that point. And so what it was basically was an optical illusion toy. So it was basically a spinning disc with two strings on the sides. So basically what you would do with it, you would spin it to where it would spin, and then, yeah, that's basically it. It would just spin, and then from that, the illusion of a moving object would come into place. And so the third device is called the that thing. So whatever that is, basically came around in 1833. And so what it does, it has a painted spinning disc, usually like made from cardboard or something like that. And when it was spun fast enough, it would reflect the images from a mirror and would create, again, the illusion of a moving image. So basically like the thaumatrope, but like more complex or more intricate, I guess. Is that the right word? I'm not sure. And so after that thing, basically, they continued to make more similar devices like the zoetrope and the praxneotrope. These are really hard words, and my English is barely capable of pronouncing all of these. The fourth and final device is called the kinograph, which, fun fact for you guys, kinograph actually stands for moving picture in Latin. So basically what it is a very early version of a flip book. So you take a book, a small book of like drawings that have like, I don't know, like, how do I describe it? Like each frame, basically each page is altered slightly. So when you flip it, you flip it, basically, it would create moving images, basically, I guess. So yeah, the more in-depth version says each page has a light variation from the original still image. So when you flip through them all, you basically just go, and then the whole image or the whole moving image is produced. And so I myself have done a few flip books. They're pretty trash, if I'm being honest, but I mean, it's something, right? Okay, so now we have talked about all the devices that were, so there's more devices out there, but I just got too lazy to research them all, so I only chose 4. And so now we're getting into part 3. Part 3. First animated and first full-length movies. Okay, so according to the article, the first ever animated film was created in 1892 by Emile Raynaud's Pauvre Pierrot, which is a film that was created using a long image roll that was used on a praxineoscope, which allowed them to create a longer watch time, basically. Which, speaking of watch time, you should still be watching. If not, I'm going to be very, very depressed. So, Pierrot is considered to be the first animated film, but there are many disputes about which one was the first, and there's like 2 or 3 more examples I'm going to talk about. So, historians like to argue that Phantasmagoria was the very first one, basically, because it was made before that, which is kind of right, but also, I mean, I guess it did use regular traditional animation techniques. I mean, I don't know, I wasn't alive back then, so I mean, it was like, eh. And there is a third film that is considered to be the first, which is Stuart Blackton's Humorous Faces of Funny... I read that wrong. But there is a third one called Humorous Faces of Funny Faces from 1906, created by Stuart Blackton. And now it is considered to be the very first film to use stop motion, which is another form of animation if you didn't catch on. And it was recorded on a standard picture, so technically it does make the first place spot, basically. Man, now that I think about it, all the old animations look scary as fuck. So you may be wondering what the difference between film and full-length movie is. There is no difference. I don't know. I kind of realized that as I was reading the script. And so, I mean, technically the films that we already talked about, I think those are like short. You may be wondering which is the ever first full-length movie. Well, if you haven't guessed already, it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, made by your boy Walt Disney. He's the Mickey Mouse dude. So the way they made the movie basically was using cell animation, which was a newer form of animation at the time, I think. And so what that basically did was, so they had a piece of plastic basically, and it had a still image basically on it. And so what they would do, they would grab pieces of paper, put on top of it, have a light through it, I think, and then they would just draw over it basically repeatedly. And so yeah, that's basically how they made the first ever fully length animation film. And also, like, while they were drawing on top of it, they also altered it basically to where, basically kind of like a flip book. That's kind of what it is, but like more in a bigger aspect, if that makes sense, basically. And so yeah, that's how the first movies were created. And now we're getting into the final part, part 4. Part 4, computer animation. Alright guys, now we're in the home stretch, so I hope you're still watching, because like I said before, I would be very depressed if you stopped like in the first 30 seconds and just clicked off. Okay, so now the topic is computer animation. So people around like the early 1940s started messing with computers because that's when computers were invented. Oh, I was actually pretty close to it. And so they started to experiment and mess around with like, oh, what can we do with this? What can we do with that, basically? And so they were saying, ooh, what if we do movies like this with animation? And so they were like, boom, basically. So a composer, animator, and inventor named John Whitney Sr. There's an SR at the end of it, so I mean, I don't know if it stands for something. So he basically built the first custom computer. I don't know. He might have been the inventor of RTX, but I could be wrong. So he basically used math and precise calculations to create lines and shapes, basically. I mean, I would do that myself, but I hate math. Math is a terrible subject. And so with the assistance of Saul Bass, or Bass, I don't know, who was a graphic designer, very good graphic designer. And so they were able to create the opening title sequence of Alfred Hitchcock's 1958 film called Vertigo, which was one of the first movies that were created using computer animation. And so there you have it, guys. That is the entire revamped version of the history of animation. And so for my research, I used a masterclass article that I saw on the internet. It was the first link that popped up when I looked into Google. So what's up with the history of animation? Okay, quick note. This video was supposed to... So quick note, real quick. This video was supposed to come out on December 6th of this year, but it is now the day after. And so originally I already recorded this, but when I looked back at it, it just looked terrible. I don't know what I did, and also I had a bunch of different problems to fix, and so I wasn't bothered. I was like, this video sucks, I'm gonna redo it. So this is the second time I'm recording this entire video. And so yeah, hopefully this should come out sometime soon if I don't forget, because I'm very busy at the moment. And so yay, 1 full year on YouTube. I don't know if you can hear me, so I'm moving the mic and talking louder. And so, yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching. You should check out all the other videos that I've made. And I don't know, there's more videos on the way too. So, yeah, thanks for watching.